Good morning. Welcome to worship with the community, of First Unitarian Church of Omaha. I'm Reverend Shari Woodbury, the congregation's minister, and I'm going to invite forward one of our trustees, Rebecca Turner, to continue with our welcome and announcements.
Good morning. I am Rebecca. You will recognize me because I'm almost always wearing these and my phone, or I will lose them. And we're just making an effort to be a little bit more visible so that you all can recognize all of the trustees. So welcome, a very warm welcome to worship with the community of First Unitarian Church of Omaha. A very special welcome to visitors. This congregation is a community of all ages and abilities. It is a community with a rainbow of gender and sexual identities. It is a community of diverse cultural and class backgrounds. We draw from many sources of inspiration and share common liberal religious values. Whoever you may be, we welcome you to bring your whole self into this community. Visitors are invited to fill out a visitor form. I don't know if someone wants to wave that around so they can see what it looks like. If you're here in the pews, it's a yellow form in the hymnal racks. If you're online, you'll find a link to an online form below the service description on our YouTube channel. You can check the box if you'd like to be added to our email list to receive the Friday e-blast, a good way to learn about what's going on in the congregation that you might want to take part in. This is a multi-generational community. Children and youth are welcome to stay in the sanctuary. Yet today is the first Sunday we're back to Sunday school or religious ed, and we have teachers for 1st through 6th grade elementary class today if anyone wants to join them there. And you may go to class now. We don't have a story for all ages. If you choose to stay here, this is for the young and young at heart alike. Activity baskets and visits for busy hands are available in the main foyer. And I'm one of those that enjoys having something to do with my hands. So, and you are also welcome to join us in the common room downstairs if you'd rather watch with your coffee and that it's streaming. Okay, the nursery's open for infants through kindergartners, new kindergartners from 10 to 12:30 with new additions welcome at any point. We have 3 important announcements today. The first is Pathways. If you're curious about membership, we have the Pathways class after service. We still have room for you. It's a 2-hour class that goes over Unitarian Universalist history, church governance, and more. Maybe a good refresher for some of us who haven't been in 10 or 15 years. We'll start at 12 noon in the Merit Lounge. We also have childcare for that class. If you can't make it but want more information on attending later, please reach out to Melissa Gibson at admin@firstuomaha.org. Our second announcement comes from Dave Richardson.
Good morning. The announcement is as follows. Please save the date, September 27th, which is just 4 Sundays away, because the social justice team is sponsoring a forum on artificial intelligence. The speaker will be Ben Poole, the principal data governance lead at his office, the AI Ready Data Autodesk. His presentation will help us to understand better and develop a moral and ethical framework for the use of artificial intelligence. One additional announcement, the social justice team is going to have a table downstairs for the next few weeks where Linda Parker will have her handy laptop there. And if you want to check to see that all your voter registration things are correct, she can access that for you. And if any of you are not registered voters and want to become registered voters, if you live in Douglas County, she's the person to see. Thank you.
And our second announcement from Jean Wagner, it's our very own KIOS Pledge Drive.
Good morning. Well, this morning I have my glasses, but no paper, so we're in good shape. It's the last Sunday to contribute to our KIOS Public Radio, Omaha Public Radio underwriting campaign, where we put ads in prime drive time and maybe attract folks who would like to check us out. So last Sunday to do so, make your check out to First UU of Omaha with KIOS in the memo line. You can drop it in the collection plate today or hand it to me. So thanks.
Great. Oh, that was our third. Last but absolutely not least, we love to affirm that our church occupies the traditional treaty lands of the Omaha and Otoe, Missouri tribal nations. And we express our respect as well to the Northern Ponca, Winnebago, and Santee Sioux tribes. We invite everyone to support local causes, charities, and the rights of Indigenous peoples.
I invite forward Marisa Lachuk to light the flaming chalice. Will you join me in the chalice lighting words? Spark of the Spirit, cupped in earth's embrace, light of love, alive in all creation. As we kindle this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life. Come into this place, bringing all you hold with you. Though your heart be heavily burdened, whether you be on the brink of tears or burn with unquenchable rage, this community can hold your strongest emotions. Yes, even the messy ones are welcome here. Come in if you sing just a bit too loud, if you hold still as statues and just breathe in. If you sway to the music moving your soul, you are welcome. Come in and say amen when the Spirit moves you. Tell that preacher to preach. Yes, that's right, tell us. Or close your eyes and quietly let your mind float free on the blessed words. Come into this place with every piece of yourself gathered up, and let us be the church incarnate. Let us bring forth the Spirit of all that we love by the words of our mouths and the doing of our hands as we make sacred this time together. I invite you to rise, if that feels good in your body, for the opening song, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, which has 5 verses. Each week, we put into practice our spiritual value of generosity as we take up a community offering. Half of undesignated gifts are donated to a local cause, which resonates with Unitarian Universalist values. The other half supports the church's own mission. If you're online or prefer to give via your smartphone, you can use the QR code or link in your program. On this 5th Sunday of the month, this year we're doing something a little different on 5th Sundays. We're taking up an offering for a special project of our youth group, a UU heritage trip to Boston. After a year of exploring world religions, visiting other faith communities, and learning how people live out their beliefs, YRUU, Young Religious Unitarian Universalists, our youth group, is ready to turn that same curiosity inward. The 2026-2027 church year of preparation for their Boston pilgrimage marks a transition into a deep exploration of Unitarian Universalist history, connecting what they've learned about other traditions with a deeper understanding of their own. By visiting historic UU sites around Boston and engaging with the roots of our faith, youth will begin to see themselves as part of an ongoing story, one they will help shape as Unitarian Universalism continues to evolve. The youth will be raising funds in a variety of ways over the coming year. Donating to this special trip through our Share the Plate program is one way to show support for youth leadership and spiritual growth. Thank you for giving with a generous heart. thank you to our guest on the saxophone, Elijah Beasley. I understand he's won a Buffett Scholarship and starts music ed studies at UNO this fall. Glad to have you with us this morning. We come to the time for sharing of joys and concerns. We take time each week to share those things that are bringing joy and beauty in our lives so that others may be uplifted, and to share as well the challenges that we face so that our community can support us. Do we have any submitted this morning, Colin? Okay, looks like we've got a few to share.
From Norma Morehouse, saying that her great-grandson, Sage, is in the NICU but is improving.
We hold little Sage and Sage's parents in the heart of this community. Will you sing with me a centering song in the Red Hymnal Book, Coming Home, number 3002? On the wings of this music, I invite you into a time of contemplation. You may wish to check your posture, gently close your eyes, perhaps make your hands comfortable in your lap. After I share a common prayer, we'll observe a time of silence, which I'll end with the sound of the bell. Spirit of life and love, behold in the heart of this community, all among us who know difficulties or hardships. Tender care and healing energy we send to those facing illness or health challenges, to those dealing with separation, divorce, or estrangement, and to those preparing to move. Our hearts go out, too, to those facing the loss of a job or a shifting of identity, as well as those afflicted by loneliness, grief, depression, or other woes of the heart and mind. May each one among us who can offer a listening ear, a warm word, or practical help for others in our community as we are able. And knowing that we all take turns giving and receiving an interdependent community, may those who need support have the courage to ask for it. In the shared silence, let our hearts overflow with compassion for those who are hurting, including our very selves. May we each know how precious and infinitely loved we are, and may rays of hope and care warm each hurting heart. So may it be. Amen. A time of shared silence.
Ministry is all that we do together. Ministry is the quality of being in community that affirms human dignity,
beckons forth hidden possibilities,
invites us into deeper, more constant, reverent relationships,
and carries forward our heritage of hope and liberation.
Ministry is what we do together as we celebrate triumphs of our human spirit, miracles of birth and life, wonders of devotion and sacrifice.
Ministry is what we do together with one another in terror and torment, in grief, in misery and pain, enabling us in the presence of death to say yes to life.
We who minister speak and live the best we know with full knowledge that it is never quite enough.
And yet we are reassured by lostness found, fragments reunited, wounds healed, and joy shared.
Ministry is what we all do together.
Ministry is like a dance, a collaborative act of artistry built on trust. It is carried out with dependable rhythms and familiar choreography, but also a certain degree of improvisation as the people doing the dance of ministry together respond to each other and to what's going on around them. Ministry is like a dance, and it's one we all do together here. I mark a milestone this month. I have now served congregations as an ordained minister for 10 years, the last 6 of them here in this congregation. I share with you briefly this morning some of the things, about 15 things, that I recognize having learned in shared ministry over the past decade. Perhaps you'll find it interesting to hear a bit of a minister's perspective on ministry. But most of all, I invite you to listen for what resonates with your own life's experience, both here at church, where all ministry is shared ministry, and in the rest of your life. Now, ministry itself is not always predictable. There's a certain give and take to it, like dance steps. So our method this morning will reflect that. I have split my list of ministry learnings into these 2 baskets here. And we're going to go through the first basket now, and the second basket in the second half of the sermon. For the most part, the order in which I share from these learnings will be determined by the order in which a volunteer draws one out of the basket. So, little element of improv, including finding out who would like to be the volunteer to draw things out of the first basket for me. Come ahead, Will. And then when I'm done reading it, then you can give me the next one. Do you want to sit here? Okay. All right, I have learned that, introvert though I may be, I love people. I especially enjoy and appreciate the kind of people who find their way to our congregations. Curious, caring, often with a streak of independence, but also recognizing the essential need for community, and choosing to build something together that will carry our values to future generations. I love our people. I love you. I'm honored to be your minister and to do our work of this congregation together. I have learned not to take for granted the courageous love of this faith. The summer after I graduated seminary, over a decade ago, marriage equality became the law of the land throughout the United States. It was a time of great joy and seeing hard work and much love pay off. It was easier then to expect that the progress we had made would stick and that we could continue to build from there toward a more inclusive and equitable society. But in 2026, it's clear that every wave of progress brings significant pushback. and that long-term gains require long-term commitment. With your support, I have stretched beyond my comfort zone to be part of the work that this congregation is doing. For me, that has included speaking to crowds from the broader community at events like the No Kings 3 rally and the May Day rally last spring. I had the courage and confidence to carry our values into the public square in ways I had never done before, because I felt the support of this congregation carrying me. You have taken bold stands as a community, such as for reproductive justice and access. And from legislative advocacy to partnering with local nonprofits to get out the vote activism and more, you have sided with love. You have acted for equity and inclusion. You've promoted democracy. You have defended women's bodily autonomy. You have lifted up and lived out humanitarian values in the face of the scapegoating and persecution of immigrants and trans people. This congregation and its people inspires me. I have learned not to take for granted the courageous love of UUs and how much it matters. I have learned that a church like this exists for community, not consumption. Over and over, I'm reminded that Unitarian Universalism is not for the casual dabbler. I mean, you can try different things and come and go, and people do. But we ask a lot of our members because our ministry is a shared ministry. It's about building and sustaining our community together. From the care we offer one another in times of loss and difficulty, to the nurture and support of our young people, to the ways we make meaning together in worship and small groups, to dealing with conflict and the hard work of right relationship, to putting our faith into action in the community, and to the governance of the church, which requires active participation by our members, not to mention your pledge. I have learned to see church-going as being not about consuming spiritual services, but rather about belonging in an interdependent community. I have learned that small groups are the lifeblood of a congregation. They bring connections among members and deepen individual journeys, creating a community of communities within the church. Whether it's a book club, the choir, a church team, the youth group, an exploratory group like AHA, or the new Grateful Gatherings offering that starts in October, small groups are the cells that make up the body of a church. Fall is a great time to join things, so if you're looking for ways to get involved, please take a look at all that is available here. At this time, I'd like to invite forward Mike McAtee to tell you about a new opportunity for connection and exploration that you might want to consider.
Thank you, Shari, and good morning, everyone. I'd like to take a couple of minutes to tell you about another aspect of shared shared ministry that is coming to First U this September, the small group ministry. So next month, First U will embark on a new small group program that comes to us from the UUA's new woven faith curriculum. It is our intent that the participation in this small group ministry will provide individuals an opportunity for spiritual growth while developing relationships of substance and depth. These facilitated groups of no more than 8 people will encourage deep listening and personal reflection. These groups are not designed to be discussion or support groups. Instead, they will invite participants to turn their attention to the experience of others, as well as to reflect honestly and deeply on their own experience. So now, maybe some of you are thinking, especially those that maybe have been here a while, new program, Mike? This thing kind of sounds an awful lot like our Soul Matters groups that we had a few years ago, or even the listening circles that we had before that. And I'd have to say that you're right. In fact, we are calling this new program Listening Circles. Those of you that know me know I love participating and facilitating small groups that are based on deep and intentional listening, no matter what they're called. I love the monthly get-togethers because we not only listen deeply to each other, but we also listen to ourselves. There is something very powerful and transformative about speaking our truth in an environment where each group member is committed to creating and maintaining a space of non-judgment. Okay, so what's new about the program? For one thing, the monthly themes will come to us from the UUA's Woven Faith curriculum. The first year of themes we'll be exploring are our new, or should I say relatively new, UU values. Values such as interdependence and pluralism. Also new, the exploration of the themes will not require homework. However, I believe reading and contemplating the prompting materials beforehand would enhance your session experience. Some things that will not change is that groups will be covenant-based, and a fundamental tenet of each group's covenant is honoring the rule of no fixing, no saving, no advising, no setting each other straight. Okay, so what's the end result of this exploration, sharing, and listening? I think this is the best part of the program. The end result is about connection or reconnection. It's about connecting deeply with others in our community. It's about connecting with our most authentic self. What this agnostic likes to think of as my soul or spirit. It's about connecting to the many gifts life has to offer. Gifts that we may have lost sight of in this hectic and crazy world of ours. So I invite you to come listen and be heard. Watch for a special e-blast that's coming next week for how you can sign up for one of our 4 groups. I also will be available during coffee hour following the service to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Okay. Next is pacing and priorities. I have learned not to try to do all the things, tempting as that continuously is, but instead to identify priorities and aim for balance. When I was a new minister, I really wanted to do all the things. Every possibility presenting itself seemed important, and I depleted myself trying to do perhaps more than was reasonable. As the years ticked by, I have learned to be more focused and intentional in where I put my energy. Pacing myself, ensuring a foundation of well-being, and leaving some room for the unexpected, which inevitably will arise. I witness members and leaders here go through a similar process, choosing where you put your focus, both in church and in life. I've learned that every congregation is unique. I've seen different cultures, different histories, different sizes, different buildings, different governance systems, in the 4 congregations in 3 states that I've been a part of. And through sharing with colleagues, I learn about even more church systems and the various ways that we come together and do church. We can often learn from other congregations, but there's rarely one right way to do things. So I've found that it's critical for me to listen to and learn about and learn from and learn with the specific congregation that I'm serving. Each congregation is unique, and each era in the life of a church is unique. I have learned that I thrive on creativity. Is anybody else like this? I get bored doing the same thing over and over again. Okay, I see a lot of heads nodding. Okay. So instead, I enjoy trying new things. In worship, this has included things like creating worship series, introducing the brunch church format with our team, or developing the Soulful Songs Sunday format, or just bringing in imagery or connection moments, or thank you to Della and her troupe today, dance. If you are a person who also has the need or the desire to develop projects or to innovate, whether it has to do with spiritual exploration and adult RE, or social action, or something else, church can be an incubator for that. And as long as your idea is consistent with our mission and vision, I and our ministry team council are eager to support you. Okay, I've got the last one for this part on purpose. I've learned that even serving in a vocation of meaning making does not give me relief from the questions that have perennially pressed me. Questions about purpose, about why I am here, and how I will use what poet Mary Oliver calls my one wild and precious life. There's always more meaning to be made. Always for me a returning to the primal questions about my calling. This congregation can be a place for anyone as an individual to ask those questions and discern your moment-by-moment answer. What will you do with your one wild and precious life? That's individual purpose. Our shared purpose matters too. I've learned that even though UUs are a people of deeds, not creeds, as we often say, we still want to capture succinctly in words what we're about, what draws people to our tradition and our churches, what keeps people in it, what makes it matter in the world around us that we're here as a congregation. Congregations often capture this collective purpose in a mission statement. We have a freshly crafted one, courtesy of your Board of Trustees, which is rooted in love, courageous in action, building a more just and compassionate world. This is the work that we do together, keeping aloft and alight the flame of love, courage, compassion. That is our reason for being as a congregation. As the Chrysalis Ensemble here momentarily performs the candle dance, I invite you to meditate on your personal purpose and our shared purpose as a religious community. Like the candles in the dance, what do we keep aloft and alight as our primal purpose? And Della's going to say a few words before the dancers begin.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, I'm Della Bynum from Chrysalis Studio. This morning, you'll see a candle dance that was created by the members of the Wednesday class. at Chrysalis Studio. It's a candle dance, and the group choreographed it. It was a lot of fun watching the dance come together. The circles remind me of how cyclical life is. We have our personal circles, the circles of nature. There are many circles and many paths as we go through life. Curvy paths, bumpy paths, straight paths. We have the candle dance.
Big thank you to the Chrysalis Ensemble and Della for sharing with us some of the dancers from your studio. All right, as we continue through my list of lessons learned in a decade of ministry, would another person like to volunteer to draw out and hand me items from this second basket? Anybody? Oh, okay, I see Lita. The next one is about self-regulation and support. Humans keep humaning everywhere, including at church. I have learned how I can sometimes be triggered by people or situations, especially if I'm not rested or well-grounded and plugged into a wider web of relationships. I'm no different than anyone else in that regard. The trick is not to never be triggered, but to know how to regulate my nervous system and draw supports that can help me gain perspective so that I can navigate situations and relationships effectively. For me, this is an important place that colleagues and mentors come in. For the congregation, that role is played informally in individual relationships and teams, and most formally by our Right Relations Committee. We all help each other live into our covenant of right relations. This can be a place where we can learn to be in relationship with each other more effectively. I've learned that I don't have to have all the answers, which is good because I don't have all the answers. A wise colleague writes, "This is what shared ministry is all about. Not finding a technical fix for every challenge, but creating the conditions for genuine and sacred connections to be made." I can be a resource on some options for how to do things, but more important, I believe, is building a foundation of trust, helping us to ask productive questions, knowing where to turn for support, encouraging others' development as leaders, and accompanying leaders through the journey as we learn from our direct experiences together. I have learned that I can't please all the people all of the time, from the pulpit or in teams or in the public square. And I can't always predict what will resonate with people in worship and sermons. It's all over the place, what kinds of topics and what kinds of services connect for different people. I'm often surprised what connected with someone. As I understand it, my job is to be authentic, to be in relationship, to do my best, and then to let go of the results. What comes of my efforts, of any of our efforts, that's up to the congregation as a whole, up to the people, and up to the love that holds us all. I did not know this when I started seminary. I've learned that healing is central to my calling, and that I must heal myself, even as I seek to create conditions that are conducive to healing for others, as people connect and explore and move forward here. Because this church can be a place of healing from various kinds of life disappointments, grief, relational harms, including past religious harm, which some bring with them from previous experiences. It has been my own journey in just the past several years of coming to recognize this past spiritual harm I have experienced and grasping more deeply how that has affected me, that has led me to tune in more acutely to the ways we might be a haven of healing in this congregation. I've learned that it is my heart that draws me on more so than the head. I can write sermons and blog posts and board reports week after week and month after month and year after year, but it is the artistry of crafting a service, the music and ritual, poetry and prayer, as well as in the quiet one-to-one conversations with specific people dealing with specific life transitions and challenges that I most feel like an instrument of something greater. The head helps, but it's always in service of the heart and where it leads. That's something I've learned about myself. Good. Okay. I've come to understand congregations as crucibles for developing people, relationally, theologically, and as leaders. I've discovered that I relish being part of the process of developing people. One member here actually made that observation to me a year or two ago. He noticed how I liked getting people connected to the groups or teams or activities that meet them where they are, that tap their talents and interests, that enable them to grow and contribute. And he was right. I do find that deeply rewarding. Church is for developing people. And I'm one of those people too, never finished learning and growing. Now, speaking of leaders and leadership development, I want to give you a little teaser. This is very fresh. Over the summer, I've been working with colleagues in Kansas and Nebraska and our UUA Mid-America region staff who are together going to pilot a new leadership development opportunity for interested lay people. It launches in early 2027, and we're calling it the Prairie Sage Leadership Experience. Prairie Sage is the name of my minister cluster. It'll kick off with a weekend retreat at one of our churches in the Kansas City area at the end of January, with small group meetings by video call in between, and then a closing retreat that we will host here at First Unitarian Church of Omaha in mid-April. We're designing this not only to build skills for current or future leaders in our congregations, but also to create community and build connections across congregations in Nebraska and Kansas. I am so excited for this, so you can watch for more information and how to register coming soon. Thank you, Lita. Lastly, I have learned that I care deeply about the future of church. While I respect and honor the past, I care even more about the future. Organized religion has been in transition for some years now. The Great Emergence is what author and theologian Phyllis Tickle calls it. UU religious educator Karen Bellavance Grace summarizes Tickle's insight about this moment in time like this: that every 500 years or so, the institutionalized church undergoes radical transformation that remakes the faith. The last time was when Martin Luther posted his 95 Theses in 1517. Now is another such time. Wow, right? I don't know what churches that survive and thrive will look like 10 or 20 or 50 years from now, but I care deeply. I think about this a lot. And I believe if we lean into our status as a living tradition that is ever evolving, and we're open to trying new things and learning through trial and error and listening to all of the people who want to be in community with us, we will be there to find out what the thriving church of the future looks like and how it does church. So that's my list of 15 things I've learned over the past decade of ministry. I hope it sparked something for you as you reflect on our shared ministry here and perhaps on your own life. Ministry is like a dance, a collaborative act of artistry built on relationships. It is carried out with dependable rhythms and familiar choreography, but also a certain degree of improvisation as the people doing the dance of ministry together respond to each other and to what's happening around them. May the dance of shared ministry in this congregation bring purpose and belonging, joy and justice to your life and to the world around us. So may it be. Amen. I invite you to rise for our closing hymn, if that feels good in your body. You can even dance if you are so moved. Number 311, Let It Be a Dance.
Much of ministry is a benediction, a speaking well of each other and the world, a speaking well of what we value: honesty, love, forgiveness, trust. A speaking well of our efforts, a speaking well of our dreams. This is how we celebrate life through speaking well of it, living the benediction, and becoming, as a word, well spoken.